So this is where we get to have the conversation where we separate the business from the personal. We need to do this as entrepreneurs because if you're already in a relationship or you already have a partner, that is probably going to be a balance for you. For those of us who are single, who may not have any children, our children are typically our projects, right? So for a producer who does not have any children, who does not have a wife or a husband, whatever your choice and preference, all respect due, your project is your baby. Your project might be your baby, like baby or baby, right? And so the priority for someone like me is in the morning, the first thing that I'm doing is checking my emails, is going to Instagram because I go to Instagram first. Why do I go to Instagram first? Because I'm seeing businesses and brands parlaying themselves. Why do I stay away from my Facebook personal page? Because that page is full of people who are there for leisure. They're there because they want to kick it, they want to look cute, they want to show their friends, they want to show what they ate the night before. I have the daunting task of figuring out how to be social in those spaces where I'm not that social, and then to market and promote myself in business places and spaces. It's the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning because I'm solo. I'm a solopreneur. You look at DJing, if it's a hobby for you, as a opportunity to go party and kick it and play music for your friends. I look at DJing as work. So when I'm not DJing and I'm not getting prepared for an event, I'm spending my time relaxing, creating content for the brands and the businesses that I support, which is business, curating files for business, creating content for myself, which I find pleasurable. But it's my work. And I love my work. Does that mean that I can't have a relationship? Yes. But does that mean that if my priority is to make sure that my business is flourishing, that I'm creating opportunities, that I'm communicating with the brands and businesses that either I work with, making sure that the invoices get sent, that the sessions for my DJ mentee and those who are to come are structured, that is the first priority because it's business and pleasurable. I take, it's a pleasure for me. Now, the person who snatches me out of that world for pleasure only has the daunting task of being patient, understanding that until the business fortifies itself where I can create leisure enough that the roofs are paid for, that all the bills are taken care of, and everything is rolling in the space that it should roll, which it had done before. It's done that before for another business that I had. Then leisure becomes the priority. Until then, and I have solopreneurs around me who are in the same boat. We are solo because we are pressed to get it. I can modify my budget based on the idea that, it might be a slower time. I know how to get through those times based on the fact that I'm alone. Like I can do a liquid diet. I can, turn off all the lights in the house, and I can, tweak my preferences. I can downsize exponentially based on the fact that I live alone and I don't have children. I can do that. When you have a family and you have a partner, then everything that you do becomes the business of the family and it's structured differently. I want to make sure to make this sense for those of you who are pursuing solopreneurs or entrepreneurs. If they are passionate about you and they're incorporating you, they're going to continue to balance those spaces out because now they're pressed to get it for the family. And I love that. I love it. That's not a space of hatred. But you have to be okay with the fact that you may be alone a lot, or they may not call you the first thing in the morning, or they may have gotten an email the night before that says they got to get up out of the bed and head to the desk to make sure that the project gets to the client on time so that when it hits Vegas at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you're communicating with an engineer to make sure that the levels are right. At 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, you might be on the phone calling to make sure that all of the wiring for that project and all the sound is right for that project. You don't get to lay in the bed. You don't. You don't get to, do that. And the person who might be laying in the bed with you has to be like, I know you got to get up. I know you got to work. I love you and I'll be here when you get back. Or they're like, I got to get up and go to work too. So it's understood. Split. We're not hanging out, coddling in the bed as entrepreneurs for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in the daytime. And when you do get that little window of leisure space, the next 3 days, you may not be talking to nobody, right? Because you're going back in and you're going to create those opportunities for yourself. And so everything else has to wait. That makes sense for you? When you get to that point, when the family balances out, then the hope is that you have the wealth and the equity and all those things up underneath you. I moved to Atlanta for a project. I moved to Atlanta to be a part of opening and executing a business. I didn't move to Atlanta because I wanted to kick it. I didn't move to Atlanta because I wanted to be known on the party scene, going to the parties and having cocktails. I moved to Atlanta to help open a business to make money off of the scene. That's it. Was there a love life? No. Right? Were there kids and downtime? No, I was in my apartment the entire COVID running a DJ program online as work. I was in my apartment strategizing, streaming, and running through the technicals of streaming for projects because I had that as leisure. That's where the home and the work get saturated with each other. That is the reason why people have offices away from their home. I don't have that right now. And it's not a bad thing for me because my business is pleasurable. And then when I need a break from that business, then I don't want to talk. And I might extract myself for a couple days. And that's when I get my leisure. It's not that different. But I want you to understand that, right? This is going to YouTube because I'm not editing. I could, but that's time and that's energy. And I have to get prepared for NAFSI this evening. But that's the bottom line. We're not the same. Now, if I'm the breadwinner, right? I'm the breadwinner. And the partner, male or female, right? Understands that I'm the breadwinner, then they're going to acquiesce. They're going to be like, I get it. I'm going to chill until you get back. That's it. who you need to understand the place and the positioning. Until you get that place and positioning, you're second. Who is the person to get that place or positioning? It had some moments. But that has yet to be determined because I'm the breadwinner. And the breadwinner is looking for the bread.